I'll be joined by Yona Knight Wisdom. He'll be in and out where he can. Welcome, Yona.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to watching this one as well.
Yeah. The boys will be competing 9 dives in total, 4 rounds of required dives and 5 rounds of optionals.
For your information, all dives will be on 10 metre unless announced otherwise.
The divers get to choose whether they compete off the 10 metre, the 7 metre and the 5 metre, but we'll probably see more than not a lot of the athletes on 10 metre at this age.
Hassan Hani Sober, forward dive pack.
We have Hassan, our first diver of round 1, forward dive pike.
Great opener. I saw some great dives in training from the boys. It's always a tough event, I imagine, to prepare for. A long one.
6, 7, 7,
There's 26 athletes because we have had a scratch out of the competition. Even Preliminaries from Germany, he's not competing anymore. So when you're training at the start of this, like just before, there's so many of them just bunched up on the back of that 10 metre, and it's never fun waiting that long for one dive, is it? Yeah, and you have experienced that on springboard. There's more divers on springboard.
Yeah, it just increases the pressure of each dive, even in training. And we all know that training's often quite challenging because it doesn't really necessarily matter whether your dives are good or not, but you want to do good dives to keep the morale up. And if you don't do good dives, it's just a question that lingers in your head. Are you going to be able to do a good dive in competition? That comes with experience, to be able to understand how to manage that feeling better and better.
Actually there with a running forward 1.5 somersaults pike. Divers get to choose whether they do a running takeoff or a standing takeoff. It's quite a retro sort of vibe. I never did a running takeoff on requireds, but I actually really enjoy watching it.
Yeah, why would you pick a running versus a standing takeoff? Obviously you said you didn't do any running, but you must have been alongside some guys that did choose to do a running takeoff.
I think with the running takeoff you're probably a little bit, you're giving yourself more chance to maybe get a much stronger pop from your ankles out of the board. On the standing takeoffs, maybe some athletes struggle to generate the correct balance away from the board.
Do you think it's something that the judges appreciate more, or?
I think the judges appreciate the running takeoff maybe a little bit more. There's more to judge. So there's if you're a bit scruffy, running down the board, that's going to take a half a point off. But at the same time, like if you're showing great form and good body posture on the running takeoff, I think the judges appreciate it, and I think you get a little bit maybe of an advantage over the standing dives.
It's interesting. I've never really understood why anyone would choose to running takeoffs. I feel like it just adds extra risk.
Yeah.
Especially on the front 1.5. I feel like it'd be so easy to just set it up a little bit too quickly.
Yeah.
But when it is done well and right, it looks extremely classy. But equally, when a standing front 1.5 is done well and right, as we've just seen there from Mark, it looks just as classy.
When you asked me that question, I thought, I was really struggling to answer it. I was like, oh no, I need to answer this. 'Cause I think Yona knows what he's on about. And
I most certainly don't know what I'm on about when it comes to platform. My platform career was very short-lived. Did do a few dives on 10 metre, but really wasn't the event for me.
That is a very, very loud cheer. Well, it's not a cheer, is it, from the crowd? It's
horn.
It's a horn. I'm not a fan of them really in diving. We're not playing football here. But each of their own, it creates good atmosphere. It's always good for the divers.
Yeah, we want a bit of a vibe, especially in the required rounds. You know, it can be quite hard to get up for them sometimes. So.
Yeah. Also, if you're sat in front of them in the stands, you're gonna have a headache.
Yeah, not good for the ears.
No, absolutely not. With platform diving, there's definitely more. There's more importance on the entry for the overall look of the dive, because there's no hurdle step.
Yeah.
6.5,
And obviously, you know, with good technique, that allows you to obviously have a good takeoff, and it allows you to then control the dive. But you know, it's not the most important thing, and it's not the only thing judges are judging on. But I think in platform it's extra important.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's because there is less complexity within the dive. It's easier maybe to focus on the form and the technique and the direction and things like that. So probably that would stay quite similar across all the divers, and then the main differentiator is the quality of the entry. And there we've seen a fantastic entry from Jordan. That's exactly what we're talking about. You know,
Great example.
his direction and form. You know, maybe not as good as someone like Mark potentially, but he's got a great end, and that's put him, you know, less than a point behind Mark. So it's a really good point that you make there in terms of the entry being really, really crucial up here, especially on the requires. Any little slip, and we know that the scores carry through to the final from the required rounds. Any little slip, and you give your opponents an opportunity to just be ahead of you already in the final.
Carlos from Mexico. I believe we saw him on the springboards as well, didn't we?
We've seen a lot of divers doing all events.
Yeah. So it's quite rare, especially in the Group A, to be doing all boards. Maybe by that point you might have already specialised.
I'd certainly already specialised by the time I got to Group A.
Yeah, same.
I tell you, I was extremely impressed with the twins from Mexico, Mia and Leah, who did the platform event yesterday. I had no idea that they did platform. And they're so good on springboard that I thought they must just be springboard specialists at this point, and they suit the springboard so well. So
yeah, they do everything.
I know, when I saw their names in the platform lineup, and especially it was Leah that got the bronze medal, if I'm correct, in the Group B final yesterday. I was extremely surprised, to be honest.
After this morning's prelim as well, long, it was a 3-hour event. They were in the water. One of them, or maybe both, they were training straight after, and got me thinking, like, how whatever you're doing needs to be studied. Because throughout my career, I would have never been able to do that much training and competing. It shows great endurance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have had conversations about kind of this in the past as well. You know, you look at China, the way that they train, Russia, the way that they train, compared to Great Britain, maybe some other nations around the world. Not quite as many hours, not quite as intense. But, you know, cultures are different around the world, and certainly in the UK, you know, our culture of training is very different to what you might see in some of the other countries. So we do what works for us and what has been beneficial for our people. And, you know, we've got good results out of it for sure. But similarly, Mexico have their approach, like the twins, and you see the Mexican divers in this event as well, and it works for them extremely well. And they've had some real good success recently. So,
Tima from Russia. Presuming this is just going to be really clean on the entry. Tiny bit short.
Smashing.
I just could tell by the line on his takeoff. Great body tension.
8, 7.5, 8, 7, 7.5, 7, 8.
This morning I was practicing my judging skills.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like guessing
The scores.
Yeah.
Nice. How was it?
Yeah, good. I was pretty much on point most of the way. I was trying to convince everyone at home to do the same.
Maybe if you've got another career ahead of you.
That's what I said. I said I'd probably be fired from this. I won't have this job again, but maybe I get to be a judge.
Well, I've strategically avoided doing any judging qualifications.
Yeah.
'Cause
I wouldn't want to. It's too much pressure. I don't like. Yeah, I wouldn't want that responsibility on my name.
I mean, I've also spent my career just trying to impress judges, and when they've not maybe given me the scores I was hoping for, I'd hold some feeling towards them. But
yeah, of course.
making that transition across from being judged to the one judging, for me it was never a consideration.
Yeah, Raphael, Italian diver, really clean through the water.
7.5.
Platform diving, it's very up and down. You want to jump obviously as high as you can out of the board. You don't want to move too far away from the board. You don't obviously want to go too close. You're falling 10 meters. A lot of time to make mistakes.
There's a lot of control required, and I imagine in this phase of the competition as well, when you're coming into your first dive with the adrenaline and the energy, but you've got wow, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
You have to be really controlled on your takeoff movement, because if you set it up too quickly, then there's no coming back. You're not getting that dive back if you're a fraction too fast in the start. So
yeah, nice to see some 9s being thrown out there at Kirill. I would have definitely given that a 9 minimum.
absolutely. It must take a lot of mental preparation to have that confidence to attack the dive with the required intensity to make it look beautiful and easy, but not too much so that you don't miss the end. And I've seen a lot of really good dives in this first round. Lots of 7.5s, 8s being given out across the board for the divers, which is really good to see.
Can you remember any of the highlights in your mind, throughout your diving career, like watching this event? Obviously maybe not. It could have been when we were juniors, but could just be the platform senior event. Any competitions that could spring to mind that you just remember thinking, "Whoa, that was really good"?
Well, I don't remember it too clearly because it was such a long time ago, but I remember the Junior Worlds in 2012 being a really exciting one to watch, obviously with the battle of Tom Daly, Yang Jian and Chen Ai-sen, 3 divers. We knew that they were going to be good. In future, we knew that Chen Ai-sen and Yang Jian were going to be battling for Olympic medals, and by that time Tom had already won an Olympic medal in London and he'd already become world champion, so that was a high quality event, and they really went toe to toe, just great dives, 10s being given out left, right and centre. A Group A junior event, it's not something you necessarily expect to see frequently, so that's definitely one that stands out in my memory. Again, Tom in 2017 at the World Championships in Budapest, particularly because it was the year after his disappointment at the Olympics in 2016, where he scored an Olympic record in the prelim, 570, I believe that's correct, and then had a terrible semi-final, didn't make it through to the final, and to come back with real fire in his belly the year after that and take the World Championships, and he didn't walk it, he had to earn it, and he had to score 10s to win it as well in his last dive, which he did. That was an outstanding watch.
I gained so much experience just being part of that competition. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch it. too busy worried about my own dives. Obviously, I was nowhere near the top 3, but I was in the final, and I was really happy with that. Just being in the top 12.
Yeah, it's sad because I feel like I've missed out on watching so many great events in the past because I've been a part of it. The Commonwealth Games in 2022 in Birmingham, that 3-meter final was unbelievable, and actually probably that was one of the first times that I actually stayed engaged with the event, and it looks like we're missing
Esteban
currently. Not quite ready to do his dive. Not sure what's going on.
There is. I can see someone.
Oh, he's there. He's already been announced. He didn't realise.
He had no idea.
He'd been announced. He'd probably only just made his way up to 10 metre and didn't hear the announcement. Maybe slightly too focused on his pre-dive preparation, unfortunately.
Yeah. Too much in the zone. Has that ever happened to you, Yoda?
No, it's never happened to me. No.
Same.
Always very present.
Yeah.
And I could hear his teammates shouting his name to get him to get onto the end of the board. And fair play, he's done a good dive in that situation.
I've definitely rushed to the end of the board a little bit, or like sped up my preparation slightly to get there in time. Obviously, like if you're going off the 10 metre board, you've got there's a lot of stairs to climb, and if you catch yourself not being prepared, it's a long little run up to 10 metre, and you'll definitely be out of breath at the top. Yeah,
you don't want to be out of breath doing these dives, do you?
No.
But yeah, that Commonwealth Games final in 2022 there was a time where I actually decided to make a change in my competition approach. I used to just do my dive, try and avoid listening to the scores as much as possible, get out the water, put my headphones on, and go and find my place to sit.
Yep.
And just get back into my routine, not really paying the attention to how the competition was looking. I always believed that if I just did my dives to the best of my ability, I'd have enough to make it through to the next round and have enough to do well in the competition. So actually the other divers didn't influence me. But then there was a time at the start of that season, actually in 2022, actually off the back of Tokyo 2021, where I had a good competition. This dive, what a clean entry.
Great entry from Leighton.
Beautiful.
Oh, Leighton told me I need to mention that a fun fact about him is that his dog, his three-legged dog, is up for adoption.
Oh, so what, he's trying to find a home?
Yeah, I'm not very sure what he's trying to find with that bit of information. I'm pretty sure it was Leighton. Oh, yeah. Can't even look at my own form. Yeah, he has a three-legged dog that can be adopted. She's very sweet, very very friendly looking.
Well,
potty trained.
What area in America is he, like we need to?
He's from Florida, somewhere in Florida. I remember him mentioning that.
Yeah, he trains at Ripfest.
Yeah.
So anyone in Florida that is listening and wants a three-legged dog for free, get in touch with Leighton.
yeah.
Well, didn't realise we were doing ads.
Yeah, I know. Me neither.
On this broadcast. You've really upgraded your game since I was last in here.
Yeah.
In adverts. Sponsorship next.
Brought to you by.
Oh dear. That season I decided to make a change in my approach because, I was basically I had the bad nationals that year, and I was trying to stay really focused again, doing that same process, and I was like, well, what's the point if I'm not diving well and I'm not enjoying the competition? I might as well at least enjoy the competition if I'm going to not dive well. And I wasn't really too bothered about how I performed that season, because for me it was all about preparing for the next cycle. And, I was chasing medals at the Commonwealth Games. I really wanted that, but at the same time I knew it was going to be a stepping stone towards the Paris Games at the end of the first round.
Remember, the top 12 make it through to the final. Very early days, a lot, many more dives to go. So I hope you're all buckled in and ready for this roller coaster of an event. I know I am.
Absolutely. We have a few divers tied on 36.8 in 8th. A few divers tied 36 points in 13th. So that gap will start to spread out as the competition goes on. So I started kind of discussing with my coach Jen at the time this idea of actually, what if I change my competition approach, and rather than avoiding everything, what if I start to just be a bit more present and take in my scores and have a look at the scoreboard and see if that gives me a feeling to motivate me for my next dive. Because it was actually starting to feel like really hard work to avoid what was happening in the competition. To avoid looking at the scores, to avoid listening to my scores, to avoid trying to figure out where I was in the competition and how my competitors were doing. That became harder work, and I felt like I was using more energy to do that
to not look at all that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then,
wow.
and then I was then wasting energy to not do that, which then was taken away from my focus on the dive. So actually we decided that, okay, I'll test it out. I had a run of competitions. I did 5 competitions in the space of, it was like 2.5 months. Oh.
Wow. Was that a little touch, maybe?
He must have touched his feet on that. There's no way.
That was extremely close
so
to the board.
Steep. Yeah, definitely. Well done, though, for maintaining this focus and actually completing the dive.
It makes me a little bit nervous, though. It's only round 2. It's an easy dive, I hope. That diver doesn't normally come close to the board.
Only maybe just judges 3 to 5 noticed that.
He does compete in with 3.5 in the 7th round.
Well, I saw him training inwards and it seemed fine. So
good.
And he does have quite long legs, to be fair to him.
He does.
So, for most divers, actually, their feet would have missed the board. And you could say that this one that we're just watching was a little bit too far away from the board.
Yeah.
And that probably contributed to actually just dropping a little bit short there. So, you want that middle ground.
Archie there. Dives with Vininka. In Queensland, I believe. Vininka's
Brisbane, yep.
Brisbane. Never been. You've been, haven't you?
Been, yeah.
You've been to Australia
Spent
quite
a
a
bit of
lot.
time training there with AD.
Yeah.
Before the Commonwealth Games in 2018.
I'd love to move to Australia. Just a bit too far away from
It's
everything.
so far away. I mean, I was talking to Bree Bryant, and the coach, former Australian Olympian, and she was telling me about their journey and flying from Victoria 5 hours into the flight, and they're still not over water.
That is horrible.
And after that, it's still 2 hours to go to get to Singapore, which is their first stop, and then they have to fly to Munich, which is their second stop, and then fly to Zagreb, which is their third stop, and then get a bus from Zagreb to Rijeka. So, yeah, no thanks.
No. We can, from London, from England, you can fly to New York in 5 hours.
Yeah. I was also telling her that I can get to Paris in the same amount of time as it takes me to get back home to Leeds.
Yeah,
2 hours.
Yeah. From here.
Much better diving this round from Santiago Choez from Ecuador. Fact about him, actually, and his coach, Abraham. Abraham works 4 hours a day for free.
Wow.
To coach some of the Ecuadorian divers. And they tend to focus on platform because their springboards that they have their pool in Ecuador are from 1982. So not great.
Jeez.
We saw Santiago, I think he finished in the top 25 on 1 metre, so it's good effort for him on springboards.
Yeah, really good.
But, he works and does it just out of pure passion and love for the sport, wanting to give back and help other Ecuadorian divers progress, which is an amazing thing for him to do.
Camilo, German diver. And a big cheer from the crowd. Inward 1.5. Somersault pike.
That horn again.
Yeah. I'm going to have a headache by the end of today. Eric trains in Berlin, coached by Igor Gulov. Started diving when he was 4 years old. That's an early one.
That is early.
Jeez. Do we have a rule in Britain about like the minimum age to start diving?
I'm not sure there's a rule, but I think there's probably a target age that coaches would look for.
Yeah.
We say that. It's a little bit early to be targeted if you do NTID, but you can always start at any time, just the basics.
Yep.
No reason why not.
See Samuel there with an arm stand. Good control. Good hold.
777, 6.5, 777, 7.5. Jordan Fisher.
Well, first dive on 7 metre with Jordan choosing to do his reverse dive on 7. I'm actually sure why he choose to do it here, but the DD is the same as 10 meter. Possibility of a few things, saving contacts
Yeah.
and the triceps, potentially a little bit more control. Maybe finds it easier to get a good entry here compared to 10 meter.
Let's judge this one, Yona.
Yeah. We give that a 7.
Yeah, 7. Agreed.
I'll see a few 6.5 maybe from the judges. A little bit short.
Yep.
There you go.
7, 6.5.
We would make a good, good judge.
6.5 and a 7 to carry. Yeah, I have no doubt that I'd make a good
Oh,
judge.
no,
I have plenty of opinions
Yeah. Oh yeah.
about the judging, but yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to be in the hot seat.
No.
But just to complete the 2022 story before I dip out for the first time, and you know, I went to a few competitions and started testing out what it was like to follow the competition. So after I do my dive, I'd get out, look at the board, see what points I'm on. At the end of each round, I'd look at the scoreboard, see where I'm sat in the leaderboard, and kind of what I need to make it through to the final. And I mean, it created two things. I actually really had a successful summer that year, and first of all, it helped me enjoy the competition more because it felt just more competitive and exciting to be like, oh, I need this to get ahead of this guy, and or I need to just like hold my position. It helped create a bit of motivation on each dive because I knew that I needed to do a good dive, and it really helped me like focusing on what it takes to do a good dive, which is something that I maybe didn't have as much before when I was younger. So that helped in the competition as well. And yeah, it just made me feel like a little bit more free, like allowed me to just spend my energy a little bit more wisely and strategically in the event. So when I got to that Commonwealth Games after a good nationals, a good Grand Prix in Calgary where I got a silver medal just behind Jordan, I was close to winning that until Jordan did an unbelievable last dive to win it. I think it was Jordan. Yeah, it was Jordan. Yeah, did an unbelievable dive to just pit me to the win.
Jordan Holden.
Jordan Holden, yeah. And at the Futures Cup that year in Plymouth, I scored my personal best, 481, including a
Solid.
91 point reverse 3.5, again, engaging with the score.
Yeah.
I then went to the World Championships in Budapest where I had a great prelim and then unfortunately made a couple of mistakes in the semi-final. So I didn't quite make it through to the final, but I made the 1 meter final and again had a great time, enjoyed myself at the event, and then finally culminate the Commonwealth Games where, I mean, that competition was phenomenal. I scored 445 in the prelim, 446 in the final. I finished second in the prelim and 6th in the final. 446 at the last Commonwealth Games. Obviously it was outdoor in Gold Coast, but it would have got me, I think, bronze at least, maybe even silver. So it just showed the standard of all the other divers. It was a England top 3, Dan Goodfellow 1, Jordan Holden 2nd, and Jack Law 3rd. I think 4th was James Heatley, 5th was Leisha Shin from Australia, and then it was 6th, which is where I finished. And you know, I was disappointed to have not won the medal that I was hoping for, but boy, I enjoyed that competition. I had so much fun.
Good.
I was following Dan, and every time I'd get on the board and I'd see Dan done a dive for 80 points, 90 points, and that really got my adrenaline going and really made me lock in, and I did some of my best diving there. And you know, it was an amazing change to make. It was really cool to experience that. But then actually, I then just tailored it slightly again and didn't follow it quite as much in the following years because, you know, the priorities had changed a little bit. The focus that required from me had changed a little bit. You know, I was then preparing for the really long prelims at the World Championships where you definitely need a slightly different approach, where it becomes a little bit more irrelevant what everyone else is doing. It's definitely a survival game when you've got basically an hour between dives. And, you know, I really, well, the decisions worked because I achieved the success that I wanted. And wow, what a unique required that we're seeing here.
I know. The reverse 1.5 somersaults tuck. Difficult one to control.
Yeah.
I wouldn't choose this one personally.
Well, I actually used to use this required on 7 meter. This is one of my favourite ones, but I never used it on 10 meter.
6, 5.5, 6.5.
Massive potential though for that dive tuck. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Textbook.
Yeah, you really got to get it right. And I feel like the judges will probably go with you. Slightly more risky though. I actually saw Noah just before getting the bus to the pool this morning, and he showed me that he had his competition snacks ready to go. A tube of Pringles. Maybe not necessarily the snack that I would recommend, but each their own.
Yeah, yeah. Some divers would just munch on a pack of Haribos.
Absolutely.
Anything to just keep sugar levels up.
Exactly.
Great dive there from Raphael. Lots of 8s being thrown.
Right, I'm going to watch this dive from Kirill. Then dip out. Got a quick conversation with my colleague back home.
Nice. Yeah, and as always, he's a busy man.
Been filling multiple roles here actually at this
No, you are.
World Championship's been working hard. Might even get in the water later and do some dives. Oh,
I haven't brought my speedos, but I've got some swimming shorts. I might have to join. I'd love to join you.
After this event. It's part of the show.
Yeah, nah, genuinely, I will. I haven't dived since retiring. I haven't even touched a board.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting.
Well, let's do it.
I'm not sure if my back would hold up, but
well, yeah, as long as there's no knee buckles or injuries, that's the only thing. But
yeah, I've got important job to do. So, but I mean, I don't need my knees to talk about diving or my lower back.
Just might hear some groans of pain though.
yeah. Catch there, slightly short. Great line into the water. Jona's going to step out for a bit. We'll see him soon.
We'll be back shortly.
Thank you, Jona.
7, 7, 7, 7.
It's always great to hear insights from people with so much knowledge on diving. Open all of our horizons. We have Alexa from Serbia with an inward 1.5 somersaults pike. Taking a long time to take off. Some divers just take a little bit of extra time to just get in the zone before their takeoff. I'm pretty sure from when the referee blows his whistle, the diver has 90 seconds to complete their dive. And if a diver takes that long, they'll get a warning whistle from the referee. It's very rare. That's why I'm not quite sure that this is true or not, because you don't really see it often. Oh, Davide. Disappearing on that end. Maybe moving away from that platform slightly, but wow, Houdini disappearing.
8, 7, 7.5, 7.5, 8.5, 7.5, 7.5.
7.5 from the judges. Solid score. We have Zafar from Australia. Zafar trains in Queensland, coached by Matt Helm. I believe he's coached by Edwin here at this competition. Such a powerful jump out of the board.
5.5, 6, 6,
Started diving when he was 7. His dad was a coach, and he wanted to see if he liked diving himself. Clearly he did. Doesn't look back. His coach is also his inspiration, Matt Helm. He's a very successful Australian diver himself. It's nice to see a range of different dives being used throughout this competition. Keeps it a little bit more interesting if you're watching all the dives, unless you're obviously just tuning in for, you know, your friend's dive or your son's dive.
6.5, 7, 6.5, 7, 7, 6.5, 7. Anthony Wang, inward 1.5 somersaults, height.
Anthony Wang, representing Hong Kong. Inward 1.5 somersaults pike. With platform diving, it's all about the positioning on your takeoff, 'cause then that sets your dive up.
5.5, 6, 6, 5.5.
Obviously the aerial element is equally as important. It's all important, but there's the three main things I'd say in platform diving. It's the direction out of the board, and it's the flight in the air, keeping, you know, good form, making you dive well, showing confidence, and then last important aspect is the entry. Solid arm stand from Leighton, showing good control in the hold. Doing a good job to keep
7, 6, 6.5, 6.5.
that entry clean. Just going slightly over, but performing a pike save on the water.
1.5 somersaults, height.
We have 7 judges. The 2 lowest and the 2 highest scores are ignored. You'll see that on the screen. You'll see 3 of the scores that are in bold. They're the ones that actually count. They're added together and then times by the degree of difficulty.
6, 6.5, 7.
That's how we get, for example, that's how we get 38 points.
Samuel Pinheiro.
Bit of maths for you.
1.5 somersaults, height.
Final diver of round 2. Samuel from Spain with an inward 1.5 somersaults pike. Slightly rolling the entry over. Samuel's favourite dive to compete and train is the forward 3.5 somersaults tuck. He'll be doing that in the 5th round. That'll be the first round of the optionals. Divers sometimes tend to put their favourite dive in first in that order on the optionals. To just, or sometimes they choose to do it last as well. Maybe the top 12 will make it through to the final. It's not huge gaps currently, and that's to be expected this early on.
And please welcome your panel B judges.
We're just changing round the judges from panel A to panel B. Also changing the announcer. Not changing the commentator. Hassan. Stand forward, somersault pike, choosing to kick up into his handstand. Really well executed dive.
6.5, 6.5, 7, 6.5, 6, 7, and 7.
Really hot day here in Rijeka. 28 degrees currently. Probably feels a lot hotter on that 10-meter board. We have Hassan's teammate, Ali. same dive, choosing to tuck up into his handstand. Maybe I'd like to see a little bit more of a hold on the arm stand, but solid entry. Beautiful leg line.
5.5, 6.5, 6.5,
That would have been sevens easily if the arm stand was held a bit longer, showing more control. We have Archie from Australia with a back dive pike. Really beautiful back dive pike. Archie started diving when he was 11 years old.
7.5, 7, 8, 7, 7.5.
He's 16, so it means he's only been diving for 5 years. That's crazy. Obviously a huge progression in 5 years to be competing for your nation at the Junior World Championships. Archie Biggin from Sheffield, England, with a reverse dive pike on the 7 meter. Strong takeoff. Not quite extending his elbows through the water. It was a bit splashy. These tower divers have to really look after their triceps. Triceps are the most common injury on the tower. That's where most of the force is absorbed when going through the water. I've had many tricep tears and injuries and all sorts throughout my career. It's a real nightmare to try and stay injury free in this sport. Well, in all sports really. Santiago. Great work in the air.
5.5, 5, 6, 6.5, 6, 6 and 6. Michael Temple, back dive fight.
This event, in my day, and I don't think that long ago, was always on the last day. It's a bit. I don't know if this is a change here or it was like this in Rio 2 years ago at the Junior World Championships. You know, usually the boys, the oldest boys group 10-meter event is the last event. Usually because it's, well, in history it's usually the most exciting one to watch, and probably the most watched event really. It's on the second to last day here in Rijeka. Eric. Solid dive. Hard to use my brain when that horn's going off, if I'm being honest. Samuel from Canada, back dive pike. Samuel trains in Camo, which is in Montreal, coached by Aaron. Started diving when he was 4. Another young start to this boy's career. We have Jordan Fisher with an inward 1/2 pike on the 10 meter. Jordan trains in London at the Dive London Aquatic Centre, coached by Sam Buck. Solid dive from Jordan. He started diving when he was 5 years old. He said The reason he got into diving was because he saw the show, the TV show Splash, which Tom Daly hosted for a few seasons, I believe, right after the London 2012 Olympics. I really enjoyed that TV show, but for some reason it got cancelled. It was really good for the sport, really, in Great Britain. You know, diving's not often shown on TV. Only really at the Olympics every 4 years, which is a shame. 'Cause I know people do enjoy watching it. It's one of the most popular sports, actually, in the UK, at least. One, the reverse dive pike. Really clean on the end there. Slightly stuck from the takeoff. Eric from Austria. Handstand dive. Oy, 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 oy. Yeah. So that'll be a restart. Yeah, that's good, lad. Yep, stand up. Take your time. You don't need to rush. Just. Oh, that's a much better hold. Good lad. I've done a few too many of restarts on my arm stand in my career. You'll have a 2-point deduction, unfortunately, but it takes a lot of nerve to do that dive after a restart. It's really not fun. Your heartbeat's going like crazy. Javier. This could look really nice, this dive. It's a forward 1 somersaults, 1 twist with a running takeoff. Yeah, that was very classy. Really enjoyed watching that. Beautiful twisting position in the air.
6, 6, 7, 7, 6 and a half, 6 and 6 and a half. Team of Kyle and Maria, reverse dive, bite.
Timo, Russian diver, reverse dive pike. Great jump from the board.
7, 7 and a half, 6 and a half, 7, 7, 8, 7. Nova Stasek inward, 1 and a half somersault, with tap.
Noah being fueled by a can of Pringles through this event. An inward 1.5 somersaults tuck. Beautiful entry.
7, 7 and a half, 7, 6 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and 7. Rafael Pellegras, reverse.
I actually sat next to Noah on the way home the other day on the bus. Asking me lots of questions. He's a good lad. We have Raphael with a reverse dive pike. Nice dive. Beautiful form throughout the air.
7, 8, 7, 7, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, and 8. Julian Cosimo, reverse dive bite.
Good up. The reverse dive pike. Oh, excellent entry. Great line into the water. Disappearing.
8.5, 8, 7.5, 7.5, 9, 8.5, and 8.5. Cash status.
Really high performing dives so far in this prelim. Not much to really comment on. Probably easier when we get into the optional rounds. More somersaults, more twists. More things that can go wrong. Cash with a beautiful body line. Such a straight, flat body going into the water.
6, 5.5, 6, and 6.5. Alexa Theophilou starts the forward single somersault bite.
Making sure the platform is free of any debris. Sometimes when divers use wax, handball wax, to grip into their shapes, I used to use it. You put it on your hands and your shins. You know, if you're doing an armstand dive, it can get quite sticky on the end of that board, and things get stuck to it. Solid dive, beautiful line into the entry.
7, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7, 7, 7. Davide Pavone, reverse dive bite.
Yeah, Davide with a reverse dive pike on the 10 meter. A bit of a miss there for Davide on the entry. His favourite dive is the back 3.5 somersaults tuck. It was his first hard optional dive that he did on platform.
5, 4.5, 4.5.
And Davide will be saving that dive for the last round. I'm excited to watch that later on. Zafar, an arm stand forward somersault pike, straddling up to handstand. Great line through the water. He needs to ideally hold the handstand a little bit longer.
6, 6, 5.5, 6, 6, 6, 5.5. Esteban Gonzalez back 1.5 somersaults, half twist, free position.
Have Esteban from Colombia. Back 1.5 somersaults, half twist. Competed this in the Olympics with Tom Daly. It was one of my favourite dives. And Esteban showing really good technique.
7, 7.5, 7, 7, 7.5, 7.5.
43 points.
Anthony Blunt back 1.5 somersault, half
Blowing a
twist,
kiss
free position.
to his family back at home watching. Another back 1.5 somersaults, half twist, slightly
5, 5, 5.5.
sidewards going through the water.
5 and 5. Leighton Dean, reverse dive
Leighton Dean with a reverse dive pike. Oh yes. Kind of cancelled out. He's leaning too far forward on the takeoff and pressing his feet away. Becomes very difficult to land upright. John Neat. Only Chinese diver in this event. Forward armstand single somersault. Beautiful line in the entry, beautiful entry. Textbook, really.
7, 8, 7.5, 8, 7.5, 8, 8.5.
It's definitely an 8 all day long.
Preliminaries, reverse dive height.
8 minimum, really. Last diver, round 3. Samuel. Reverse dive pike. His proudest achievement so far in his career is representing Spain at this championship. Beautiful dive. See there, he's not leaning too far forward. He's able to press his legs up towards the 1 o'clock area. Think about a clock. Let's have a look at the standings after round 3. Kirill out in front with a 10+ point lead. 12th position held by Archie Forsyth. Very closely behind is Javier from Spain. A big mistake in these early rounds can really make it difficult for the rest of your competition. Moving on into round 4. The last round of requireds. Inward 1.5 somersaults pike for Hassan. Great connection on the water. Ever so slightly moving back away from the board.
7, 6.5, 6.5, 7, 6.5, 6.5, and 7. Ali Artemis and Melvin forward 1.5 somersault to 1 twist, free position.
Beautiful dive from Ali, doing the running takeoff for a single twister. Great pop out of the board. Beautiful line on the entry. 7s. Easy.
7, 7, 6.5, 6.5, 7, 7, and 7. Archie Forsyth, 1.5 somersault, half twist, free position.
Archie. Back 1.5 somersaults, half twist. See Archie there using a towel on the end of the board. Some divers prefer to use that. Great dive from Archie. The reason why divers use a towel on the end of the board is because So they can kind of control the surface of the 10 meter wherever they go in the world. You know, a towel doesn't change depending on where you are. But the surfaces on the boards do, there are different kinds of surfaces. The most ideal surface, and I believe it's mandatory now for Olympic pools to have, is it called? I can't remember what it's actually called, but I used to call it black spiky surface. It's like, it's rubber, but it's got little black spikes, and it's just so grippy. I remember we finally got it installed in the London 2012 pool. Obviously that is an Olympic pool, but I think the rule was implemented after that championship. And I've competed here before, and I would say the surface on the end of the platform isn't the nicest. I wouldn't have liked to have competed if 4.5 somersaults took here. Santiago. We're running forward 1.5 somersaults, 1 twist. Such a confident takeoff. Santiago. I'd like to see maybe him to jump up a little bit higher instead of moving away from the board. Mark from Ukraine, reverse 1.5 somersaults, half twist. It's a beautiful dive when performed well. And Mark, absolutely awesome dive. Such an elegant dive to watch. Disappearing through the water. Houdini. 45.15. To remind myself, that's probably going to be some loud horn noises after this dive. If I had any power around here, I would ban those silly horns, but I don't. Solid dive there. Samuel Talbot, reverse dive pike. Samuel's proudest moment of his career so far is he broke the junior Canadian record with 606 points. Wow. Wonder if we're going to see him get close to that. That was an excellent dive from Samuel. Really beautiful through the water. It's one thing getting a record in your home nation. It's another thing getting it in an international competition. Jordan Fisher, again with a lovely dive to watch, a reverse 1.5 somersaults, half twist. Jordan's proudest moment is winning 2 European golds in the B group. Wow. Really well executed from Jordan. Great jump. That twisting technique, perfect. Slightly, ever so slightly over on the entry, but 7.5. 47.25. Solid score after 4 rounds of required there for Jordan. 163.85. Carlos from Mexico. We were running forward. 1.5 somersaults, 1 twist. Beautiful. Great technique through his twist.
Seven, 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 6.5, 6, 7 and 6. One Manuel Lopez, armful forward, single somersault fight.
1 with his arm stand dive. All divers must show dives from all directions. So if a diver doesn't choose to do an arm stand in his required rounds, he, I believe, must do an arm stand in the optional rounds. It's been so long since I was a junior, so having to refresh my memory a little bit. See there in that image, there's quite a mist over the Adriatic Sea. It's a very clear day above our heads. Eric, the back half on the 10 metre. Beautiful dive from Eric. Great enthusiasm with his reach out of the board with the twisting dives. Got to be able to show you're not meant to be twisting already when your feet are still on the board. You're meant to be able to check on the takeoff before twisting, especially with the easier dives. Javier, reverse dive pike. Great line through the water, reaching for his toes. 39.90. You have Timur, reverse 1/2 somersaults, half twist. Oh, wow, that was textbook from the Russian diver. That's a beautiful takeoff. Excellent line through the water. Not much wrong with that. That should be 8, 8.5.
8, 7.5, 8.5, 8, 8. No estatic reverse, 1.5 somersault, half twist, reposition.
Good job, Judge 5. We have Noah. Same dive. That's definitely a hard one to follow. It's a beautiful dive. See. Really clean through the water. I think Tima would have scored more on that one. Forte, which I'm pretty sure means let's go in Italian. Something like that. Raphael, back dive pike. Great reach out of the board. Slight banana shape from the line to the water. That's why we only seen sevens. Kirill. Arm stand forward somersault in the pike position. Lovely dive from Kirill, showing great control in the arm stand. Good pop out the board. 181.90. Very nice score. The 4 rounds of required. We have Cash with a back half on the 10-meter board. Whoa, that is a fantastic entry from Cash. Beautiful. Great jump out of the board, showing great form. Disappearing. Houdini. Alexa from Serbia, reverse dive pike. Great jump out of the board, huge height.
5, 6, 5.5, 6, 5.5, 6, and 5. Moving ahead
Davide. Forward 1 half somersaults, 1 twist with a running takeoff. Solid dive from Davide. Beautiful takeoff, I must say.
7, 6.5, 7, 6.5, 6, 7, 6.5. Zafar marker, back 1.5 somersault.
We have Zafar from Australia. Back 1 half somersaults, half twist. Wow, beautiful entry. Great twist. Zafar loves twisting. He told me his favourite dive is the back 2.5 somersaults with 2.5 twists.
7, 7, 7, and 7. Esteban Gonzalez, armstand forward, single somersault flight.
Which we'll see at in the 9th round from Zafar. I'm excited for that. Aye, aye, aye. We have Esteban there, struggling to press up into his arm stand. That'll be a restart, so a 2-point deduction if he can do the dive again. He's taking a moment to recollect his thoughts. Wow, that was a really good effort. Beautiful. Such a shame about the restart. That'll be a 2-point deduction.
Judges will score normally and will deduct 2 points for a reason.
Usually when a diver restarts on an arm stand, you just want to get up and over and off the board, but Esteban showing that he can in fact hold the arm stand very well. Anthony Wang, same dive, arm stand, forward, somersault pike. Up and over. Maybe just didn't fancy his chances of holding that arm stand. He didn't want to risk a restart. I get it. I understand it. I've been there. We have Leighton Dean from USA, Florida to be precise. I mean, at least he definitely trains in Florida. I'm not quite sure if he's from Florida. Beautiful. Inward 1.5 pike. Great entry through the water. Excellent head position on the takeoff.
8.5, 8.5, 8.5, 8.5. Knee Jude, reverse 1.5 somersault, half twist, free position.
We have John Knee with a reverse half. This has got potential. Oof. Oh, wow. Absolutely textbook entry. Disappearing through the water.
8.5, 8.5, 8, 8.5, 8, 8. Samuel Pineros forward 1.5 somersault, 1 twist, free position.
Absolutely beautiful. Forward 1.5 somersaults, 1 twist from Samuel. Great entry through the water. Wow, great hands.
7.5, 7.5, 8, 7.5, 6.
That concludes the 4th round of dives. We'll be moving on to the 5 rounds of optionals. This is where it gets interesting. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. Top 12 will make it through to the final. And also the importance of the requireds is that if you make it through to the final, the scores from the requireds carry over. So we see Kirill Kozimov. He's out in the lead with the requireds with 181.90. That's a very solid score. Followed by Jun Ni, the Chinese diver.
5th round. Hassan Ali Soba. Inward 3.5 somersaults with top.
Starting the 5th round. Here we go, straight to it. Inward 3.5 somersaults tuck. It's a 3.2 degree of difficulty. Let's see what Hassan has to say. Oof. On a takeoff there, you see his head down, throwing down towards the water, and harder to control the dive at the end.
4.5, 4.5. On 7.5 meter. Ali Ahmed Esamodu. Reverse 2.5 somersaults
Ali Ahmed
with top.
with a reverse 2.5 somersaults tuck. Easy dive for the group A, but when performed well, it's such a classy dive to watch. He's on the 7.5 meter. Landing short, vertical. Want to see more reach past his ears on the takeoff.
3.5, 3.5, 4, 3.5, 4, 4, 4. Archie Forsyth. Arm stand back double somersault, 1.5 twist, free position.
Archie, back arm stand 2 somersaults with 1.5 twist. Our first optional arm stand dive we're watching. Straddling up into the handstand. Good hold. Wow, that was an incredible takeoff. You see, extending his shoulders, kicking his legs, generate the rotation. 64 points. Thumbs up to his family back at home. Archie Biggin from Great Britain in with 3.5 somersaults tuck. Solid dive from Archie. It's a good strong takeoff. Just coming out of his dive slightly early. Archie enjoys DJing at home or at friends' houses. Obviously he's from Sheffield and that's in the Peak District. If you know England, the Peak District is a beautiful, beautiful place. Very hilly. Take your best walking boots. Santiago with an inward 3.5 somersaults tuck. You see there, taking his time, collecting his thoughts, making sure he's prepared and ready. Wow, really impressed with Santiago's takeoff, making that dive so easily. Just coming out a little bit too confidently, a bit too early. With a little bit more beans in the final, a bit more adrenaline. If he makes it through, I'm sure we'll see a very good one if that all comes true. We have Mark from Ukraine with the same dive in with 3.5 somersaults tuck. This dive became one of my easiest dives in my senior list. It's very consistent at it, but as it got easier and easier, as I learnt harder dives around it, it was almost harder to control. Wow, very nice dive from Mark. Great takeoff, beautiful tuck shape, good line into the entry.
8.5, 7, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 8, 8. Camilo Alexkita Schmidtka.
More of that horn. We have another inward 3.5 tuck from the German. Bit short vertical.
4.5, 5.5, 5.5, 4.5, 5, 5, 5. Samuel Talbot. Forward 3.5 somersaults pike.
Samuel Talbot. Interested to see his first round of optionals. Forward 3.5 somersaults pike. Wow, very solid dive. Good entry on the water. Bit of a gap in between his legs, but only ever so slightly. Well, between his chest and legs in the pike shape.
6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 7.5, 7, 7.5.
6.5, 6.5, 7 to count.
Jordan Fisher Eames. Reverse 2.5 somersaults.
Jordan Fisher with a reverse 2.5 somersaults tuck in the 10 meter. Wow. Great dive from Jordan. It's a difficult one to control, especially when you're making it and jumping up like that. Having to come out really early. Staying in that straight shape. Good control. Carlos from Mexico. Forward 3.5 somersaults pike. See there, he's measuring his run up. Very important to do. You know, you don't want to run out of room as you approach the end of the board. Very sneaky on the entry. I'd say slightly losing speed in the rotation.
6, 7, 6.5, 6, 7, 6, 6.5. Juan Manuel Lopez, inward 3.5 somersaults with top.
We have Juan. With an inward 3.5 somersaults tuck. Clean finish. I'm sure some of you watching may have flinched a little bit as he went past the board, but
5, 6, 6,
it was okay balance.
6.5,
Sometimes in
6.5,
diving,
5.5.
you know, we need to be close to the board,
Eric Richter,
but not too close. That's the key.
3.5 somersaults with top.
Eric, forward 3.5 somersaults tuck on the 10 meter. Only a 2.7 degree of difficulty, but Eric doing a good job with that.
5.5, 6, 6, 5.5, 6, 6.
47.25.
Javier Arena. Back 2.5 somersaults, 1.5 twists, height.
Javier. Back 2.5 somersaults, 1.5 twist. Quite a miss there for Javier. You can see you can really pick up on his toes. Flex feet as he wraps into his pike shape. His favourite dive is the reverse 2.5 somersaults tuck.
Inward 3.5 somersaults with top.
Which we'll see in the 7th round for Javier. Timo. In with 3.5 somersaults tuck. Look at that head position. Good direction from the takeoff. You can see a little bit messy feet on his tuck shape. 62.40 though.
Classic. Back. Arm stand back, triple somersault with top.
Noah. An arm stand back, triple somersaults tuck. Difficult dive this one. You've got to really flick with your knees and push with your elbows up and out of the board.
4.5, 3.5, 4.5, 4, 4, 4, 5. Raffaele.
We have Raphael. Very big cheer from the crowds. His Italian team. And great attendance. Handstand back double somersaults, 1.5 twist. Really solid dive there from Raphael. 7s almost from all the judges. 67 points, solid score. This is our current leader, Kirill, in with 3.5 somersaults tuck. Whoa, beautiful entry. Great tuck shape. He pike saved that on the entry. That's when if you feel like you're going slightly over through the water, you hinge at the hips, sucking the water down. Cash, Tarasov. Difficult dive to follow. Same dive in with 3.5 somersaults tuck. Solid effort from Cash. Very clean through the water. Good takeoff as well.
677, 5.5, 766. Alexa Teofilovich. Forward 3.5 somersaults piked.
Alexa, forward 3.5 somersaults pike. Lovely, confident come out, good entry.
Six and a half, 6.5, 7, 7.5, 6.5. Davide, right there.
Davide. Back 2.5 somersaults, 1.5 twists. 3.2 degree of difficulty. Wow. Awesome dive from Davide. Good takeoff. Wrapping into his pike shape, nice and clean on the finish.
7.5, 7.5, 7, 7, 7, 7.5, 7.
68.80. High scoring dive for this prelim. We have Zafar. Inward 3.5 somersaults tuck. Whoa, quite a big miss there for Zafar. Just needed to come out way earlier than that. He spins quick. It was a good strong jump.
3, 3.5, 3, 4.5, 4, 4.5.
Just a reminder, you know, these divers,
Esteban,
the last time Zafar did this dive was hours ago. And that's the really difficult thing with diving. Like, there's no warm-up pool. There's no diving pool in the background or behind the scenes that these divers can, in between the rounds, go and practice their dives. Nope. I use, see that again from Esteban sailing over. I use this as a reference, like in football or in soccer. If you're wrong if you think it's called soccer, but with penalties, there's only one chance to get the ball in the net, and the pressure's on. It's like, diving's like doing 8, for example, in this competition. There's 9 rounds of dive. That's 9. That's almost like 9 penalties. You've got one option. One attempt at these dives. That's the really difficult thing. Anthony on the 5 meter. We have Leighton. This is a really hard dive. Arm stand back, double somersault, 2.5 twist. It's a 3.6 degree of difficulty. Really solid dive there from Leighton. With the harder dives comes more risk. But Leighton's showing great control and strength through that dive.
6, 6, 5.5, 5.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5. Near June. Inward 3.5 somersaults with tap.
We have Jun. Inward 3.5 somersaults took. Ooh, big miss there for the Chinese diver. See, he jumps quite far forward on the takeoff. Well, not quite far, but more than you should. You want to ideally have your feet planted on the end of the board. You don't want any movement.
4, 4.5, 5.5, 6, 5, 4.5. Samuel Pineros.
Samuel.
Forward 3.5 somersaults with tap.
Forward 3.5 somersaults stuck on the 10 meter. This is Samuel's favourite dive. Oh, that's such a shame for Samuel. As you see, he slips off the end of the board. I was talking about that earlier. It's a real shame, but he's very lucky to come away from that without a horrific belly flop, or can do some serious damage. Landing flat on 10 meter.
And that brings us to the end of the 5th round of dives. Please stand in
My
tables
heartbeat just
for
raced.
now.
Remember, the top 12 will make it through to the final.
Forward 3.5 somersaults, part.
First diver of round 6. bit short there for Hassan. Having Yona join us again. Don't know if you saw the last diver of that round then.
I did, unfortunately.
You did, yeah?
3.5, 4.5, 3.5, 3.5,
Nope.
4, 4.5.
It's talking about how the surfaces on the end of the platforms change depending on where you're competing.
Yeah.
That's why we see some divers use the towel, because then at least they can control that surface. It will be the same everywhere they go in the world.
Absolutely. Actually, looked like he just didn't quite measure his runner correctly because he missed the end by
Some margin.
considerable margin. So,
It's also his favourite dive.
I really
Yeah, which is really sad.
adrenaline we spoke about a number of times, you know. Sometimes if you measure a runner out and what you normally do in training is correct, but you've just got that little bit of energy and, you know, one step is a fraction longer and it just compounds.
4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 5.5.
He seems okay there.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing. He got away with, like, it could have. Yeah. Maybe that split second of whether you decide to try and attempt the dive itself, which I think I probably would. I don't think my brain would work quick enough to understand where I am in the air.
Yes. Yeah, I always want to think that if I got that takeoff or something, I commit to the dive.
Yeah.
I commit to
Yeah,
the dive,
yeah.
So it's not always the best thing.
4.5, 4.5, 4.
Archie there with a bit of a miss.
5, 4.
It's forward 3.5 somersaults pike.
Archie begin. Arm stand back, double somersault, 1.5 twist, free position.
Archie, British lad. Arm stand back, double somersaults, 1.5 twist.
I missed anything else? What's been away?
You've not missed any calamities.
Good.
Yeah, that's good. Ideally don't want to see any of them really.
So you haven't jinxed it either.
No. It's a solid dive for Archie. It's a strong diver. Very powerful. Good twisting. I think struggles a little bit to get through that water really clean.
5, 5.5, 5, 6.5, 6. Santiago Chillis. Back 3.5 somersaults to the
Stateside
top.
to the University of Michigan.
Oh, he is. Nice.
Brando Losciardo there.
Coaching. Haha. Good old Brando. Is he the head coach there?
Yeah.
Sick.
Program. Leave.
Wow. Is that something you would have, obviously in a different life, would have loved to have done? Or you're happy with?
I mean, I don't know. I did think about it on a couple of occasions. My coach, Edwin Youngins, used to go to the University of Miami. Yeah, my coach Edwin, he used to go to the University of
7,
Miami.
6.5, 6, 7,
Me
7,
and a couple of other elite
6.5,
divers there to check it
6.5.
out.
Mark
Like I said, I'd already started
Forward 4.5
university at the time,
somersaults
so
with top.
I think if I was to have gone to an American university and I wanted to do that, Edwin would have encouraged me to go to the University of Miami.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
the coach at the time, Randy Abelman and Dario Fazio, who's now the lead coach of that program, both.
Let's pause that for a second. That was absolutely incredible from Mark. Forward 4.5 somersaults took, one of the hardest dives being competed in this competition. Wow.
7.5, 8,
I honestly can't
9,
believe that
8.
he is the age that he is.
Camilo and Esquita Schmidt.
Looks so physical. It's like he's been diving at senior level for years.
Yeah.
He's had so many senior competitions, he's so experienced.
Born in 2009. A little bit wild there from the German. It's not a long jump competition.
5.5, 4, 4.5, 5.5, 6.
Yeah, I spent some time at the University of Miami doing some training camps.
Reverse 2.5, somersaults,
In the outdoor pool, especially in the lead up to Rio.
Yeah.
It was a really important place for me
Mm-hmm.
in my training. But I don't know, to have made that move there, I think I would have struggled, to be honest, with quote unquote the Miami lifestyle.
Yeah.
At that time, I might not have had the most positive impact on my diving career. And actually, I really wanted to continue training Devlin. I really wanted him to be my coach. I really understood his approach and felt that it connected well with me. So I didn't want to go and
7.5, 7.
then
7.5,
I was actually
8,
considering
7,
the
7,
possibility of going
7.5.
to
Jordan Fisher Eden.
IU in Denver University to do a master's.
Mm.
Because,
Didn't know that.
the coach Drew Johansson was there, and I exchanged a few emails with him. They had an amazing team at the time. Mike Hickson, James Connor, Jess Parato was there, some other fantastic divers. That seemed like a place that I felt I could have thrived, and I would have been interested in potentially doing a master's in sports psychology or something similar.
Mm.
But again, I wanted to stay in the UK, to be honest. I felt like that was the best place for me.
Jordan Fisher. Ooh, back 3.5 tuck. It's a good takeoff. Spinning well. Just not quite keeping his body tension on the entry.
4.5, 5, 5, 4, 4.5, 4.5. Carlos Solorzano. Arm stand
You getting
back,
playback in your ear?
somersault, 1.5
Any chance?
twists,
No, me neither.
free position.
Oh, no, I can hear you.
I can't hear you. That's why I've got my ears open. Imagine this whole time, like one of our mics was off and it just sounded like
One
we were
person having a
just
conversation with
to themselves.
no one.
And there's just an awkward gap in between every so often. Hopefully that's not happening.
The joys of technology and
Yep.
live broadcast.
Seen a few shaky handstands already this competition.
You won't be able to see on the video stream the touch judge stood at the back of the boards. And then one of the officials stood there just to double check that the divers don't do
6.5,
movement, so if the
6,
feet
6,
just
5.5,
leave the board and touch back
5,
down,
5, 5.5.
that would count as a restart. And
One Manuel Lopez.
it's not always
Forward, 1.5.
completely visible to the judge and the referee on the pool side, so we have another official up there just to make sure.
Yeah, thank you for reminding. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Probably because I hated arm stand dives, so I think since I've stopped, I've just blanked that whole memory out.
Leafy runner. Full of energy.
Yeah.
Gazelle. Nice dive for control.
6, 6.5,
Hold his
6,
shoulder a little bit.
6.5, 7, 7,
Oh,
6.
touch on the entry. Essentially carrying the entry.
Eric Richter. Forward,
Yeah,
2.5.
one of the
somersault,
coaches here,
1.5.
Martin Wolford. That reminds me how he dislocated his shoulder during the Olympic final in London 2012. And he was on his second dive that he dislocated his shoulder and then continued to compete somehow. He was a big guy, so that's like, I don't know how he did it.
Toes coming quite close to the board as he
4.5,
goes into his
5.5,
twist.
5.5, 6, 6.5, 6. Javier Arena.
Yeah, I remember watching that
Arm
final.
stand back, triple somersault with toe.
Really excited for him. I'm sure a lot of us were for Martin's performance. I'm guessing he must have popped it back in and carried on.
As you do.
Yeah.
But to be
Presume.
fair, you know, when you're in that moment, what else do you do?
Yeah. The adrenaline probably blocks out the actual real pain. I'm sure it was still extremely painful for him though.
Oh yes, I was feeling a little bit nervous watching that handstand go. Just
Mhm.
then, it was a little bit unsteady on his hands, but then found his balance. Didn't get the right connection, unfortunately, into the shape, and then quite short of the dive.
I did a lot of work when I was younger on like when landing short on a dive in training. You know, I would bend my legs like that and almost give up. And I remember my coaches throughout my career just really telling me off for that, and as they should, because that's the last thing you want to do in a competition, because the judges will take off even more points, even more scores.
Yeah. You should never ever quit on a dive, even if you land short.
Mm-hmm.
Maintain the line, you still get some points fair than no points. What were your tips for improving press to handstands? Obviously, as I say, there was a few shaky ones, so definitely, some of these guys could do some work on their press up to make that a little bit easier, a bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, you said you hated it.
Yeah.
Quite good at that.
Yeah, I was alright. Yeah. It was definitely one of my more wobblier dives, but yeah, it's a great example of like that's one of the dives I had to really work hard on to try and be able to, hold a handstand under the pressure of a competition. We had a gymnastics specialist coach in Great Britain called Ruslan, and did so much work with him, with arm stands and I guess pressing up into arm stands. When I first started diving, I would lovely entry there from Noah.
Those Pringles really working.
Yeah. yeah. I would kick up into my arm stand.
7, 7, 7, 7,
It's
6,
now
6.5, 7.
what we said earlier was happening.
Oh, it was happening?
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm actually live now.
Now you're live, yeah.
So you were chatting to yourself the whole time?
Oh God, how embarrassing. That's funny. Well, you guys would have probably, for the past 10 minutes, probably listened to me talking to myself there. I've been actually speaking with Yona. He's here. Hi, Yona.
That's hilarious. I've been dropping some gems as well.
I know.
Oh, shame.
That's really thrown me off. Yeah, we're talking about arm stands and pressing up into arm stands. It's all about core strength, really, and also like leg, like it's hard to explain. Like the top of your leg.
Okay.
Strength, like your tension. And just, I guess, just repetition after repetition. Like repetition in diving is so important with all sorts, in all parts of your dive. Is there anything? No, all was good. Thought there was a bit of confusion there, but nope.
Oh, what a dive.
Wow,
He's going to
wow.
maintain his position at the top of the leaderboard.
Absolutely great dive from Kirill.
Beautiful. Wow. What a finish.
8, 8
Very
and a
clean.
half, 9, 8, 8.5, 8.5, 9.
Nines
Cash
from some of the judges.
Arm stand back double somersault, 1.5 twists, free position.
What would you say are your kind of 3 top tips in terms of improving the press to handstand that people at home, if they're listening, could execute immediately?
You obviously need good upper body strength.
Mm.
All your weight is in your arms, as you can see here with Cash. Really defined triceps, really strong diver. I'd also say this is more specific for me. Like it was all controlling my heart rate, because my nerves would show in my hands. If I got nervous, I'd start shaking, and so taking a lot of deep breaths at the back of the board before, if the diver in front of me is diving, that's when I'd be taking loads of deep breaths, and try and control the speed of my heart rate. And also I would always think like squeeze everything, like not everything, but I would like keep my abs like really squeezed.
Yeah.
So I can then control as I go up. I would do a pike up to handstand.
Yeah. So from before you even start moving, like abs
already,
active,
yeah,
arms active.
Activated, yeah. And also no like sudden movements as well. Like it's really important to just try and stay as smooth as possible, because there's been times where I would almost, the legs would fly up, and
Yes.
then oh, I've lost my back tension,
Yep.
and I've gone over.
5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.
But I definitely am glad that I don't have to deal with that in competition anymore.
Yeah, I imagine that's quite a relief. I remember at my junior competitions doing handstands for the first time, and it was definitely a nerve-wracking experience, never mind having to do it at the world stage.
See there, Davide controlling the speed. It's very consistent speed all the way up. It's really good.
Yeah, it's a lovely press up. It's a great line. Unfortunately, just dropping a little bit short there. Probably need a little bit more intensity from his snap off the board. Kind of bent his legs and almost fell from his hands rather than pushing.
Yeah.
6, 5.5.
And almost jumping off his hands from the board.
5, 5.5. So far, Marika. Arm stand back double somersault, 1.5 twists, free position.
Zafar enjoys his twisting dives.
Yes.
His favourite.
Yeah, I've seen him do some good twists so far. Down in 23rd place, so sooner rather than later needs to get things going to have a chance of making it through to the final.
Solid finish. See here, he flicks his legs, but there's almost no press from the elbows.
6, 5.5, 6.5, 5.5, 5, 7, 5.5.
Because you're upside down as well. Like I almost found it so discombobulating. Like trying to understand because you can't see your legs. Obviously,
Yeah.
you're looking at the board.
Like what to move when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My coach would tell me, "Oh, do that," and I would say, "Yeah, I did try to do that, right?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, "Oh." That's where video playback's really key sometimes.
Short from Esteban. Looked like he took quite a long time to get into his pike shape and get the dive moving. As soon as you feel that pop on the board, you really want to try and snap into the shape, driving your hips over your head to get the speed.
Forward, 3.5 somersaults, piked.
Anthony Wang. Does he know he's got a forward? Yeah, thank God.
Just taking his time to measure his run up.
Yep. Said this earlier. Is it true that after the referee there's 90 seconds for the diver to complete the dive, or is it? Because you never see anyone not really.
Yeah, I've heard there's just a time limit, but it's not something I've ever stretched
Yeah, me neither.
towards at all.
Quite the opposite, actually. I want to get off the board
Yeah, as soon as possible.
3.5.
But we've seen it
4, 4.
earlier in this competition week where
Leighton Dean.
there was bad weather or wind and the divers would put their hand up and just take a little bit more time. And I've seen occasions where divers have probably taken significantly longer than 90 seconds to do their dive because of various factors like that. So I'm not sure, but very rarely tend to see it. And it's obviously not a countdown clock or anything like that.
No.
They're having long jump or even gymnastics, they have a countdown clock for when they need to start their vault. Maybe that's something that needs to be introduced.
Yeah,
That'll raise the old pressure, won't it?
Yep.
7.5
God, that's horrible.
10 seconds from whistle to...
God.
Is that too harsh? 20 seconds.
Yeah. Especially in prelims.
Yeah.
Get everyone moving a bit.
Yeah. That'll cause a lot of stress.
Yeah. We could see something very exciting here. John knee with a back three now, somersault stuck. Oh wow. Really well executed dive for the young Chinese boy. Not quite. Again, Again, they don't.
No, yeah, they don't reach. They do a. I mean, I was hearing a little bit about how they teach the technique, and it's all about just momentum generation. So how fast can you swing your arms to your ears, even if it doesn't get through? Because the speed of the arms swinging through transitions to the body movement as you jump, and that should transition through the core, through the legs into the shape. That's how they get their speed. Whereas I think in general we teach it that you have to really reach and extend, and then use your core strength mainly to get the speed of the dive. So see, that's the way that they do it. That's their method. They also seem to not really be bothered about flat feet and shape, which surprises me massively. You know, China are very detailed in everything, but actually you see most of their divers being very comfortable spinning with flat feet. I actually think they would iron out. They work so much on their form, flexibility, but very rarely seems to go punished by the judges, which seems a bit of a shame.
Final diver of round 6.
2.5, 3, 3, 3.5, 4.5, 4, 3.5. Thank you.
Quite a big miss there for Samuel, sadly. Obviously he had his failed dive last round. It's very difficult to come back from that. See who's around that 12th position mark. Actually, Forsyth from Australia, 265. It's going to be probably very tight. Santiago, only 3 points away from that 12th position. Archie Biggin as well.
5 or 6 divers in the mix for that top 12 with 3 rounds to go. All to play for. Commanding lead at the top for Kirill and Mark. Really a class above the competition right now.
Especially Mark with that 109C, 88.80. It's a huge score for a prudent. Hassan doing it forward. 2.5 somersaults, 1 twist. Choosing to do the rotation first, then twist. It's called the full out. You normally see the twist being performed first on the towers, but it's not essential. There's more progression to be made though well, easier progression if you do a full
first.
Yeah,
for sure.
I've seen the Mexican divers, I think, first compete it really, the triple in.
Yeah, I remember first seeing that dive and being absolutely blown away by what I was watching. Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. It was a very unique technique as well. They really almost like chopped down to get the rotation. Then made such a small pike shape. It was very much a tap on the hamstrings. Glad to see that this dive was a safe distance after Forsyth tapping his toes on the dive on these in 1.5 somersaults piked.
Yep.
So I'm in 12th place, Archie Forsyth.
Clean finish on the end, a little bit short. Great takeoff.
Followed by another Archie in the hunt for that top 12. Currently ranked number 14. He's back 3.5 somersaults tuck. Big dive for him. Oh, unfortunately left it fraction short.
4 and a half, 4, 4, 4 and a half.
He'll be quite frustrated with himself on that one, but there's still opportunity, so he needs to maintain his focus. Quite a sequence of divers here. We've got Santiago sat in 13th place in that hunt. Big dive reverse 3.5.
First reverse 3.5 we've seen of this competition so far. Well, we've got 2 in a row.
Would it have been whilst my mic was off then that I was talking about Santiago and his...
That was in the first.
Was that in the first
Yeah.
bit before?
Yeah, that was fine then. Yeah, I think it was just
good.
when you returned.
Wow, that'll do.
Spins so quick in the air.
It's a good distance from the board, but maybe a fraction too far away. He probably jumped a little bit too far, but he has no issue creating speed in that dive, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Super tight touch shape, a little bit loose through the water.
I feel like he's definitely got some swagger about himself. Definitely, you hold confidence, especially when you know you've got some of the harder dives in the competition.
Yeah.
It's a feeling I miss very much. We have Mark from Ukraine, same dive. A lot taller than Santiago.
So high.
Wow. Solid dive.
Double somersault by board level. Remarkable.
Incredible takeoff.
6 and a half, 7 and a half, 7, 7, 6, 6.
Definitely more to come in that dive, but doesn't need his best right now. Save for the final.
Eric, we're back. 2.5 somersaults, 1.5 twist. He turned 18 years old the other day.
Oh, yeah, his birthday out here.
Yeah. On the 22nd August.
5, 5 and a half, 6, 5 and a half, 6 and a half, 5 and a half. Samuel Talbot in with 3 and a half somersaults with...
Sure, he asked for a platform final as his birthday gift.
Yeah.
So let's see if he can deliver that to himself.
Canadian diver Samuel with 3.5 somersaults tuck. I don't think you were here when I read this stat out, but Samuel broke the junior Canadian record of 606.
606. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's very good.
It's not bad at all.
Not sure we'll be seeing 600 here though.
6, 6 and a half, 5 and a half, 6, 6, 7.
What were the standings around requireds?
Jordan Fisher East.
We had the top few divers, I think, reaching 180.
180.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is really strong. Good few divers around the 160, 67. Jordan Fisher. Handstand back double somersaults with 1.5 twists.
Lovely handstand. It's a great dive. That's a dive that I know that Jordan finds a little bit challenging at times. But managed to get the rotation he needed there. A bit bubbly on the end, but upright, 67 points. That'll do for him in his hunt for the final.
Are you surprised when I say that Jordan enjoys sleeping outside of diving?
This guy.
But to be fair, I know he lives quite far away.
He does, yeah.
So by the time he gets home, in the evening. It's like 10 p.m. already. He's got obviously. Does he train full time? No, he's 18.
Soon to be.
Yeah, I haven't obviously not been around for a few years now.
Yeah, it's a long old commute, a good couple of hours to and from training every day, and that's real commitment to the sport and not easy for such a young person to do. I mean, I've never lived more than 30 minutes away from training.
Same.
I've been very lucky from... Oh, devastated. I just noticed finally throwing his chamois down. It's landed on 5 metre. So he's going to have to climb all the way back up the stairs.
That's the worst.
To get his chamois.
Happened to me a few times.
Fortunately, there's enough divers, so he's got plenty of time to do so.
Just an extra few flights to climb for no reason.
Oh, what a dive, though.
Wow.
Maybe he should keep throwing his chamois down to 5 metre.
Yeah. If he's superstitious, that's what he's going to do.
Let's see. I reckon he's going to get out of the water looking a bit confused. He's not sure where his chamois is. Yep. He's looking around for it. Has no idea.
Look up. There,
looking up.
There,
Spotted it. Devastated.
Yeah.
There we go. Straight up the stairs.
Solid dive though. Great entry.
Oh, what a dive, yeah. That's the kind of drama we're looking for in this event, isn't it?
Yeah. Eric, on the 7.5 metre.
Oh. Well, here we go. Maybe round 7 is the one.
Beautifully executed back 2.5 somersaults tuck.
7.5, 8.5, 8, 8, 7, 8, and 8.
Lovely dive.
8 to count.
2.5 somersaults with tuck.
Oh,
wow.
Here we go. 3 in a row. Let's go.
That's his favourite dive.
Okay. Secure. That was secure.
8, 7.5, 8.
Love to see a little bit more form in that shape through the kick out, but can't question that entry.
3.5 somersaults with tuck.
Can the streak be continued by Timmer? Back 3.5 tuck. Slightly pulled over.
Yeah,
Fortunate.
it's not quite connecting on the takeoff. Taking quite a lot of time from his reach to bringing the legs up into his tuck shape.
6, 6, 6, 5.5, 6, 7.5, and 6.
Judge 6 still enjoyed it. 7.5.
3.5 somersaults with tuck.
Wonder if those Pringles are empty
Yeah, I
at
know.
this point.
Like, what's his process? How many Pringles?
Yeah,
How many Pringles per round?
Gets them all out, counts them. Right, how many am I allowed each round?
You always see that when I overdo it. Oh, well, maybe he did overdo it, unfortunately. Yeah, we cooked it on that dive. Looked like he just chopped down, didn't finish the jump quite enough, and missed his spot, over-rotated.
2.5, 2.5, 3.5, 3.
Shame.
2.5 and 2.5. A better fatigue.
The Italians making lots of noise for their teammates. Does really help in competitions.
Yeah, it really can do. How did you feel about when you could hear everyone shouting and cheering before each dive?
Loved it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But I also didn't really acknowledge it too much.
Mm.
Like I was kind of really nice dive from Raphael.
It's always nice to hear after the dive, that's for sure.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah, that's when you embrace it.
Yeah, you know when you come up and it's just the deathly silence when you've not done a great dive.
Yeah, you get a few appreciation claps.
Yeah. Painful.
Yeah. And before the dive, I would hear it, but it's just like noise. It's just like
Yes.
I don't see it as anything. But I'd always be able to spot out like a few people, like their individual cheers and voices. Like I could always spot out
Yeah.
my dad's cheer if he was ever in the stands.
Very unique, distinct.
Very sneaky on that entry. Kicking pretty much directly at midnight on the clock.
7.5, 7, 7.5.
See the core strength to be able to hold that line as soon as he kicked.
Cash Thurston for
Good finish, good
3.5
dive.
somersault spiked.
Keeps him at the top of the leaderboard, just above of Mark. 11-point gap.
Beautiful forward 3.5 somersaults pipe from Cash.
That was a super clean entry, but there was definitely a lack of form in the shape and a slightly short line. 7.5 from the judges is positive. There's definitely space for more.
Alexa back. 2.5 somersaults, 1.5 twist.
Taking his time to settle on the board. When I watch that, it just feels like it projects nerves a little bit. It's a great dive, but you really want to try and fool the judges into the fact that you're confident.
Yeah.
And that can very easily be achieved just by your approach to the end of the board, even if you're feeling nervous inside. A very calm approach and structured process into your dive.
I remember Matthew Dixon used to really take his sweet time on the platforms. Obviously, when I was competing against him, sometimes it was quite annoying to wait. He's one of my best friends, so I'm sure he doesn't mind me saying that. Davide with a reverse 3.5 somersaults tuck. Really tight tuck shape, spinning quick.
4.5, 5.5,
Just dropping a little bit too quickly though, unfortunately. But yeah, I remember Matt and his he would do his little arm movements by his thighs, doing like 20, 30 sometimes. Then finally he's ready to swing his arms and go. I remember him having to make the transition to just one definitive movement and then go, and that's quite a important mental transition to make. As I say, it shows that confidence to the judges.
Wow.
Wow, he needed a big dive.
Yeah, he did. He delivered. It's a little bit scruffy, but that entry, not much wrong with the entry.
Brings him right back into the mix.
77.55. Big score for this prelim.
Definitely what Zafar needed.
Esteban from Colombia. That 3.5 somersaults tuck.
Almost. I love the shape.
I was going to say, like the shape, the spin, the takeoff, really good.
5, 4.5, 6, 5.5.
Just after he kicked that little bit of looseness, maybe he didn't quite trust where he was in the air.
Reverse 1.5 somersaults with tap.
So as I say, it comes in handy to really practice and train every single time, holding that good line, good quality line, good tension, all the way through until you're in the water, even if you're landing short or over.
Yep.
in the background.
Yeah.
I was just watching that. Someone just getting towed along by a boat.
Yeah, wish that was me.
Having a great time out there.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to do some, what do they call it? Like,
Yeah, what do they call it? Water skiing? No,
yeah, I don't know.
there's like there's a specific name for when you're like holding
water
onto
skiing.
the rope.
Yeah, water skiing. Yeah, that is right. Yeah. Something I've never done before in my life.
No, me neither. Have you ever been skiing?
I have been skiing actually, yeah.
Good.
When I was like 11 years old, I went on a school trip to Austria
No way.
and like never had been skiing before that point. But we had to fill out a form. Oh dear.
I know that's Leighton's least favourite dive. Back for a nice somersaults tuck.
It's tough. You probably spent the competition worrying about what might happen in that dive.
I believe Leighton punctured his lung whilst doing that
Oh,
dive in
dear.
training.
Wow. Yeah.
It's not well, I don't think it was this year. Not sure when it was. Wow.
Oh, what a dive.
I thought that was a 2.5. It made it look so easy.
Well, I saw John training reverse triple on 5 metre
Mm-hmm.
to make sure he had the speed to make this particular dive, and it was very easy for him.
I remember my Chinese coach Peng Li making me do that lead up on
Reverse
5
triple.
metre. Yeah, I used to hate it.
Yeah, they love the 5 metre hard ones, don't they? I
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
a little Chinese girl doing back double 1.5 twists on 5 metre. So a Group B girl.
Also doing that. Yeah, Peng made me do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I'd always tuck around because
Yeah. Well,
my
she did the
pike.
same.
Yeah.
I think there's no way you can do a full straight leg pike, or else you're going to land in the sea drop, which
Yeah, which hurt
obviously
so
no
much.
one wants that.
Do you remember Susie Collins doing a pike
Yes.
seat drop on 10 metre in the old
5
pool?
metre, 5 metre.
Was it 5 metre? Was
Yeah,
it 5
5
metre?
metre.
Oh, thank God.
If it was 10 metre, I don't think she would have been able to walk.
I was going to say, I'm thinking about it now. Why the hell would you do that? She was bleeding. I remember that.
It was terrible.
Samuel, final diver, much bit more of an improvement there.
We're done with the 7th round, so we're going to take a look at the current standings.
It's the end of the 7th round. Let's have a look. Got 2 more rounds of dives left. Remember the top 12 make it through to the final.
A big gap there at the top between Carell, Mark and the rest of the field. Archie's still holding on to that 12th position. Close, Santiago just behind. And Alexa, Zaffa. Archie's still in the hunt. Eric as well. And Leighton, you could say. And Eric. All of them. Lots can change, 2 rounds to go. Going back to the skiing story then. We had a form to fill out beforehand, and they asked what your level of skiing experience was and what group you would want to be in. Give a choice of beginner, intermediate or advanced. Say I'd never worn skis, anything of the sort before. Obviously had to put intermediate. There's no way I was putting beginner. Way too boring. Way too boring.
Yeah. That was definitely a mistake, wasn't it?
No, I was alright. I picked it up quite well. No, it was
good.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I was
I thought you were about to say
absolutely
like you were just thrown on the deep end massively and you're like, oh no,
Yeah,
just going
no,
straight down, not knowing how to
fine.
stop.
I think all I had to learn was like the when you're in the V, what's it called?
When I learned in
term?
Finland, they called it a snowplow.
Snowplow. Okay.
I think obviously they have different terms. around the
Yeah,
world.
probably. I don't know what the term I learnt was, like V or something else, but yeah, I learnt that, and as soon as I learnt that, I was kind of alright.
Mhm.
Just took my time. Had fun.
It's a really fun sport. I haven't done it since I retired. I don't know why. Obviously, had to concentrate on diving and not get any injuries throughout my career. Wow. That was a very nice dive.
Very interesting that he's done the inward 3.5 tuck first and then forward 3.5 tuck. You'd think it would probably be the other way around, but who am I to question when you can execute both dives actually like that?
Yeah, I reckon that's his favourite dive.
Archie Forsyth in with 3.5 somersaults with tuck.
Is that 12th position in the last round? can't afford any major mistakes. And with 3.5 somersaults tuck. It's good.
I think that's just what he needed there. Coaching team will be happy. From Australia.
6, 7, 5.5, 6.5, 7.
Mix of scores, but 65 points will keep Archie absolutely in the mix for the top 12. On to the next Archie, who made a bit of a mistake in the last round, so he's going to need a good execution here to really place himself in that fight.
Really neat during the air. Great pike shape. Strong takeoff. Just needs to clean his entries up a bit more.
Yeah, it just looks like his arms are collapsing a little bit through the water there. Just suggests not quite that maybe shoulder tricep strength that he really needs to go through the water. You can see him stretching out his wrist a little bit, so maybe he's having a bit of wrist pain as well, which obviously doesn't help.
It's almost like he's got the Conor McGregor walk, Santiago.
Yeah, I like his vibe.
Yeah.
He's a very confident young man, as he should be.
Mm-hmm.
He's had some great competition opportunities so far, the Pan American Games. Doing very well there. Here now with the back 2.5 somersaults, 1.5 twist.
This is crucial.
Absolutely, he's in 13th place currently. Just a point outside the top 12 as it stands. Oh, what a dive.
Executed that very well.
I think that'll leapfrog him above Archie from Australia.
7.5, 8, 7.5, 8, 7.5,
Correct.
7 and 8.
As it does, gives him a 7-point buffer now.
Armstand back 2 somersault for 2.5.
One dive to go, so he should be feeling a bit more confident. Although he's finishing on their forward 4.5 somersaults tuck, so yeah, it's a real make or break kind of dive. Not seen him train it, so
Santiago.
I'm sure how it looks. Yeah, Santiago.
Yeah.
Versus Archie Forsyth back 1.5 somersaults, 1.5 twists. So slight DD difference, but you still got to execute the dive.
Wow.
Oh, this guy is amazing.
Yeah, as if we're watching a junior event here. This is boys 8. That is an incredible dive.
And he's second year A as well.
Wow.
Second year A. So unfortunately this will be his last Junior World Championships, I believe.
81 points, solid.
But you know, he's been well established on the senior circuit for the last couple of years, doing synchro alongside Alexis Sarada. And also competing in the individual events as well. Every competition I watch him, he's just raising his stock. While you're getting higher and higher. I'm sure he's going to have big ambitions going forward. No reason why not. Wow, what a finish. Judge 5 wasn't quite on board with it. Probably a little bit of a question mark there with the form. The toes especially, I could see flat feet as he repiked, but saved it with a good entry.
Samuel from Canada with a back 3.5 somersaults tuck. I have a good feeling about this. It's good. Not quite what I was hoping for. Good tuck shape.
Yeah, just a little bit open on the takeoff, which affected the connection.
Yeah.
It's a little bit short. Still keeps himself in a comfortable position though.
Absolutely. Jordan Fisher with an inward 3.5 somersaults tuck. least favourite dive.
Doesn't surprise me. But one that he knows he can execute very well, so let's see what we get in this particular occasion.
It's good.
Slightly early on his pike out, and he really had to dig through the pike shape to finish the dive, but it shows good awareness of where he is in the air and what he actually needs to do on the dive to make it good. Another solid dive, over 60 points, just what Jordan needs to keep himself in that top 12. That's the goal at the moment. He had a solid enough set of requireds, so he just needs to make it through to the final.
Carlos there with the same dive as Jordan. A little bit chopped down on the takeoff. That's kind of why he runs out of room on the entry.
5.5, 6, 6, 6, 6.5, 6, and 6. 1 Manuel
Yeah, he's
Lopez.
pointing out there to his coach. Chest out. We need to try and keep your chest in on those entries. We have one. Is his chamois on 5 metre now? No. Threw it down successfully. Reverse 3.5 somersaults tuck.
Considering how early he came out of his back 3.5, I don't think he's going to struggle with this dive, but
Yeah.
does he have the awareness and control to make it excellent execution?
Talking to himself, amping himself up.
Oh dear.
Completely losing his spot. See, his head's sticking quite out on the tuck shape. It's really hard and difficult to actually spot where you're rotating. And that's kind of why we see him almost fall out of the tuck shape at the end, landing short.
Yeah, he looked like he was really fighting against his legs, struggling to hold in that shape tight enough to make the dive all the way around. Puts himself in trouble when it comes to trying to progress through to the final.
Oh, Eric from Austria, beautiful reverse 2.5 somersault tuck. That's why, you know, there's a risk of using harder dives.
Yeah, exactly.
You can do easy dives and execute them like that.
7, 7.5, 7.5, 7.
It depends on what you're really working on with your coach. You know, some athletes might be here specifically targeting the junior world success medals, or there might be some here using it as a bit of a stepping stone to aid their development and progression. And you know, especially when you're trying to upgrade dives, it can't be expected that you're going to execute them well right from the start. I mean, I most certainly didn't. It took me a long time to understand how to execute the reverse 3.5, the inward 3.5 well on 3 metre. Took a lot of shoulder drops and short dives, pain, slaps in the mornings to figure out how to do it most efficiently. I got there in the end, and I'm sure for you similar.
Yeah, many years of trying to work it out.
So sometimes in that respect, it is not necessarily the worst thing to push these dives and, you know, accept that you're going to make mistakes on them every once in a while. That's okay, as long as there's a plan in place of how to continue working on it, improving it.
Timo there, almost a textbook forward 3.5 somersaults pike. Houdini on the end.
8, 7, 7, 7,
Timo was just about in the final top 12 rankings as he came into this round, so that will definitely do his cause some good. Keeping himself in the mix.
We have Noah with a back 3.5 somersaults tuck.
much better dive than his last round. He'll be more satisfied with that for sure. Seemed a little bit stuck through the somersaults. Not flowing through quite as easily and dropping a touch short. Big support from Team Italy, and as they showed, Raffaella's sitting in third place coming into this round. They'll be hopeful of a spot on the podium in the final, but he's got to get there first.
Back 3.5 somersaults tuck. It's clean, but it's not upright. It's not vertical. It's quite short. Coming out too early.
Yeah, he almost approached that dive a little bit too casually. I'd like to see a little bit more energy from the arm swing into the tuck shape. Give himself more time to make the dive easy. Now our leader, Kirill, flying along nicely so far. Barely made a mistake.
It's nice. It's a good spin, beautiful tuck shape. Great line going through the water. Ever so slightly short. Still solid. Solid score, 66 points. Mark now has overtaken Kirill in the standings.
I think that's going to be a great battle in the final. Mark has a slight degree of difficulty advantage, the 109C compared to the 107B. Armstand 2.5 twist at 3.6 instead of an armstand triple at 3.3.
Ooh. So Cash there with a beautiful back 3.5 somersaults tuck. Such nice form. Slightly losing his legs on the entry.
7.5, 7, 7, 7.5, 8, 6.5, and 7. Alexa Belfilovich, arm step back, 2 somersaults, 1.5 twists, free position.
Alex now sat in 14th place. Armstand back, double somersault with 1.5 twist. Pressure around, pressure dive. Really taking his time to make sure he's feeling 100% comfortable before pressing up into the handstand. Watch for the tuck up, finds the balance. Really showing off that balance as well.
Catching the back of his calves going through the water. I'd see a bit more of an attempt of a pike save on the entry.
6.5, 6.5, and 7.
Keeps him in the conversation for the final as it stands, but will it be enough? We have to wait and see.
Yeah, Davide. Forward 3.5 somersaults pike. Solid dive from Davide.
Beautiful, beautiful entry line. Fraction short. Again, plenty of points for him. Keeping his hunt for the final well and truly alive. Now Zafar again. Can he back up his excellent back 3.5 from the last round? He's going to need it. Currently in 15th place in this round.
Usually divers tend to be better at either reverse and back or forward and inward.
Oh, go on. And I've seen some wishy-washy attempts at these two dives for Zafar, the back and reverse, in training. some short, some over, but he's really found his awareness and control in in this prelim. 2 clutch dives that he absolutely needed to get himself back into that final conversation. 1 dive to go. Can he hold his spot?
Esteban. First 2.5 somersaults tuck. Let's see a little bit more confidence on that jump. Just letting the dive get away from.
5, 5, 5, 4.5, 5, 5, 4.5. And 31 from 7.5 meters inward, 2.5 somersaults with the tuck.
Anthony Wang with a much easier dive here. And with 2.5 somersaults tuck on the 7-meter board, 2.7 degree of difficulty.
This is one of my favourite dives in my platform career. I really enjoyed it going with 2.5. I think it was my opening dive actually when I did my first senior nationals on platform.
Took me a year to learn that dive.
Yeah, I remember the
Do you
faff.
remember? Yeah.
That was a nightmare.
Yeah. For some reason, I was just too frightened to do it. I didn't trust myself. My coach at the time, Jen Leeming, would send me up onto the 7 meter saying, "You ready?" I would go up, full well knowing I wasn't going to go, and just pretend to stand there. And then it took a very long time. And then AD, the head coach of Leeds Diving at the time, basically threatened me and said, "If you don't learn it, you're out." So I learned it, and ever since then, I would always learn a new dive on the first attempt.
At least attempt it, yeah.
Never had a problem going on into the future. Thank goodness. Imagine he's like, "Yep, you're out," and that was my diving career done with. That would have been a mistake.
All for him with 2.5 on 7
I
meter.
know.
That was a lovely front 3.5 there from Leighton. Might have a little bit too much work to do potentially to get himself back into that conversation of the final, but giving himself a chance. That's all you can do. 109 here. Oh, wow. Goodness me.
It's a beautiful entry.
Just again with the flat feet and the shape, I mean, they clearly think they don't need it because they're so dominant otherwise.
Yeah, if they wanted to change it, they could,
They could
right?
very easily, I'm sure. But the judges still go with 8.5s to count, despite the form, which is potentially a point of questioning, but quite my remit.
Final diver of round 8, Samuel. Back, 2.5 somersaults, 1.5 twist. Trying to recover from his mistake earlier in the rounds.
Wow, I wasn't feeling particularly confident with the outcome of that dive after the start, but he's managed to work it round quite well throughout his pipe shape.
5, 6.5, 5, 6, 5.5, 5, and 5. Thank you, judges.
Come towards the end of round number 8, heading into the final rounds. Have a look at the rankings. Mark Kirill and now Jean in that battle at the top. Santiago now comfortably in the top 12, Zafar in the top 12, Carlos in the top 12, Archie just slipping out. By 0.2, so absolutely nothing in it. It's like the battle could well be between those
Final round.
4 divers or so from 10th to 13th. But some big dives in this round going to need to be executed well to make it all the way through. I'm also going to share a story about AD now that I see him walking down from the gym, which may not paint him in the best light, but I can assure you that he's one of the most inspirational individuals I've ever come across. He's inspired me to stay a part of this sport for 22 years now.
Yeah.
A long time. But I had a similar kind of threat from him when it was my turn to learn back arm stand 2.5 on 7 metre. In Leeds, I stood underneath a 3 metre platform and strategically made sure that the big wide pillar was between his line of sight and myself.
Yeah.
And I stood there for a couple of minutes. I was nervous about the dive, and he obviously can't be fooled. Very smart man.
Yeah.
Called me over, told me if I don't go up on that dive right now, I can go home and not come back for a week. And maybe me obsessed by diving at the time.
Yeah.
Could not face a week at home without training, so went straight up and did the dive, and inevitably it was absolutely fine.
Yep.
He was right. Oh dear.
Oy.
I think he's hit his feet on the board.
Yeah, he did a really good job to get that round there. Oof.
Oh yeah, for the
Wow.
second time in the competition, he's hit his feet on the board.
3.5, 3.5, 4, 3.5, 4, 3.
Very lucky there. That could have been a much worse outcome
Archie
if he had caught more of his foot.
back 2.5 somersaults, 1.5 twists, height.
Now we go with Archie, the first of our top 12 protagonists, with his final dive back 2.5 somersaults, 1.5 twists, sat in 13th place, just 0.2 outside of the top 12 as it stands. Wow, what a dive. I love the technique from the takeoff. So calm. That must be one of his favourites. That's why he has it at the end. Lovely, lovely rip and entry.
8, 7.5.
Great dive, 73 points.
7, 8.
458 is the benchmark for the rest of the divers.
Definitely putting the pressure on to that bunch of divers near the 12 mark position. Actually begin. Back 2.5 somersaults. 1.5 twists.
It's a vertical dive again, just collapsing on the water.
He
And
must be carrying a tricep injury.
yeah, tricep wrist, something like that, because
He's
you
not
can see he's
holding.
just not quite strong enough through.
6, 6.5, 7, 5.5.
See, looks a bit frustrated there.
6.5, 6.
Knows he can do better.
Santiago
Unfortunate, but it's a great experience for him as he heads to the US for college, where he'll gain a tremendous amount of experience. Santiago from Ecuador, this forward 4.5 somersaults, had himself in 9th position heading into this round. But this big dive has to be absolutely correct to make it through. 4.58, remember, is the benchmark set by Archie Forsyth from Australia. Wow, well
Very good
done.
dive.
His coach is absolutely buzzing in the background, so happy. I'm happy for both of them. They put a lot of work in, as I mentioned earlier. Abraham working for free 4 hours a day to make sure that
6, 6.5.
Santiago can still train.
6, 6.5, 6.5.
460 takes him just 2 points ahead of Archie.
Mark Kuritsenko.
Maybe too soon to give the cue, but
2.5 twists.
feeling confident for him.
We have Mark. We're back 2.5 somersaults, 2.5 twists. Very hard dive, 3.6.
Now, of course, the medals aren't decided right now, but could be some bragging rights to head into the final in top position. So efficient.
Yeah,
So efficient.
so clean on the water.
Textbook technique.
Yep. Slightly, ever so slightly moving over. Vertical.
7.5, 7.
549.
Yeah, that's a solid score.
Camilo Amesquita Schwitka.
Going back to the story of me and you and like trying to learn dives.
Yes.
And, like it is like, got to give credit where due. Like, you know, he called our bluff.
Yes, absolutely.
Basically.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
yeah. Straight up, we were just bluffing. We were just scared.
Yeah. Scared little boys. And I'm glad he said that to me because it made me do the dive.
Yeah, and it had a positive impact on the rest of your career as well.
Yep.
You know, fear is a... Oh, wow.
Eric there, beautiful finishing dive. A little bit head out and take off, but that entry.
6.5, 7.5,
know, fear is a fundamental part of our sport.
Yep.
It's something that all divers have ups and downs dealing with, but to get to this level and, you know, really reach your potential, you have to find ways to overcome it. And, you know, sometimes it takes almost, I'd say, safely threatening situations like that where,
Yeah.
you know, if you want to achieve something big, you're going to have to push through and get over it. That's the challenge that we all face, and you know, it's definitely a robust method, but in this sport, in all sport, we're not here to play around. We're here to achieve our goals and targets, and those goals don't come easy, and sometimes it does take those more robust methods, within reason, of course.
We just saw Samuel's last dive, solid, and his competition ending on 465. Definitely put a Q next to his name.
Absolutely.
Jordan Fisher, also striving for that final. Solid dive, beautiful.
Great finish.
Excellent technique. Lovely form and Houdini on the entry.
Yep, let's give Jordan his cue, 471.
Wow.
Carlos Solozano, back 2.5 somersaults, 1.5 twists, height.
Carlos, 2.5 somersaults, 1.5 twists. He was 12th in the last round.
Solid dive. Yep. And we compare what we saw with Mark and Carlos here. There's slight breaks in the form, breaks in the body shape.
6.5, 6.
Great rip entry.
6.5, 5.5, 6.5.
But that's why,
6.5.
you know, you see slightly lower scores there, even though it was a good finish. 447. That's going to be right on the bubble. I think we can probably give Santiago a cue now, I would say. Not quite there for Archie just yet, I don't think. And Carlos is definitely going to be on the bubble. See forward 2.5 somersaults with 2 twists. Whoa.
Really nice dive. See, they're opting to twist first, which is the more common way to twist on this dive on the tower.
6, 6.5, 6, 6, 6.
Did you ever explore the front twist on platform?
I did full in.
Yep.
Forward 2.5 somersaults, 1 twist. I believe that was in my list in Group B, first year B. And potentially... No, not second year B. Yeah. I was quite long and skinny in Group B. So I didn't have strength on my side, but I had like that line and
nice line,
an entry.
Yeah.
So I had to do more simpler dives. Beautiful entry for Eric. When he's in with 2.5 somersaults tuck.
8.5, 7, 6.5, 7.5, 7.5.
Yeah, I never quite cracked the whole twist into pike shape kind of vibe. I was comfortable with, you know, like reverse 2.5 twister where I just had an open re-pike. Comfortable with twisting out of a pike shape, like in the full out and the double out, even the triple out I did the lead up 4 a couple of times, but twisting into a pike shape, yeah, never quite cracked it.
Javier, 3.5 somersaults tuck. He's a tall boy. Not quite getting enough speed and rotation. Dropping very quickly.
4, 3.5, 5, 3, 3.5.
Looking very disappointed with himself.
Timur Haile Marian. Back 2.5 somersaults, 1.5 twists, height.
Now Timo within that group of people fighting for the top 12. He was in 8th place coming into this round. Still going to need quite a decent dive to confirm his spot. I'd say that's decent enough.
Yeah. Beautiful form throughout his whole dive there. Great entry as well on the pike save.
7, 6.5, 7.5, 7.
So it's past vertical. And he was maybe leaning away from the board a little bit, but 4.59 takes him 1 point ahead of Archie Forsyth. So I think I'll give a cue to Tima. Carlos and Archie still, I think, waiting for a few more dives. Just wrapping up his competition. Had plenty of time, just he missed his spot on the water, missed his line.
4.5, 4, 5, 5, 5.
Slightly strange mistake to make there, didn't quite get the full grab. His campaign comes to an end. Move on to Raphael, who is currently in 5th place.
Good solid dive from Raphael. It's a good jump out of the board. Maybe not quite enough rotation speed. Seen him land slightly short of vertical, but great score, 473.55. We'll see him in the final later on this afternoon.
Well, let's see who's going to head through to the final, ranked number 1.
Ooh. Clean finish. It's not perfectly vertical. It's quite short going through the water.
7, 7, 7, 7, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5. Cash terrace.
Mark takes the bragging rights.
Back 2.5, 7 somersaults, 1.5 twists, right.
Well, Cash to confirm his spot. Currently ranked number 4. 420 points coming into this dive. Oh my goodness me.
That was a beautiful entry.
So clean, so short.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
7.5, 7.5, 7, 7.5.
72 points, 492 total.
Seeing him in the final.
Really.
Back 3.5 somersaults with top.
Now Alexa, ranked in 14th place, coming into this dive. As a reminder, we have Archie sitting on 458 points, Carlos sitting on 447 points. So that's Alexa's target for this particular dive.
Quite a loud noise there from the contact of Alexa's hands on the water, or maybe shoulders. Landing quite short of vertical.
5.5, 6, 5.5,
Yeah, he needs something really good there. I don't think that's quite going to do it. He's already ranked 13th. And unfortunately, going to be out of the final. But it will be great experience and great learning for him.
Davide. Back 3.5 somersaults tuck. Can't really afford any mistakes here. Was in rank 10 previously.
Ooh. It's going to be interesting. Decent start, a little bit high on the press and a little bit pulled through the water.
6.5, 5, 6.5, 6.5.
449, that takes him just above Carlos as it stands. Pushes Carlos down into 12th place currently, and with Safa to go. One of his more preferred dives, you could say.
Yep. It's his favourite dive.
Plus with high DD.
Very high.
Gives himself a great opportunity to reach the final himself and unfortunately push Carlos out. Let's see how he does.
It's a great takeoff. Spinning so quick, but
He's overcooked it a little bit. He's really gone with his shoulders on that takeoff and
yeah.
unlucky.
Such a shame for Zafar.
13th place.
Ah, damn.
Brutal.
Yep.
Back 2.5 somersaults, 1.5.
On the flip side, Carlos breathes a sigh of relief. Holding that 12th place position.
Esteban will be wanting to finish on a clean dive here.
Now you could see, and you'll definitely see in the replay, big leg separation as he finishes his twist. Needs to work on that adductor strength. Something that I also wasn't very good at. I happen to lose my feet quite frequently in my twisting dives. It's a hard thing to correct.
Got a fly that is not leaving me and Yona alone here in the commentary booth.
Just keeping us on our toes. Making sure we stay alert to finish the competition.
Oh yeah. Lots of caffeine in my system currently. Needed. You still drink coffee?
Not really. I'm more of a tea person. Had a hot chocolate this morning, but I actually spilled most of it on my sock, so it wasn't ideal.
It's one of Anthony's cleaner entries. He does twist on the entry though, so judges will penalise quite heavily.
Yeah, you can see there when the scores come up. Judge number 4 really penalising that twist for the 2.
Do you still drink that Argentinian drink?
Oh, the mate.
Mate,
No,
yeah.
that was a 2024 thing. that was a get me through to the Olympics kind of thing.
Yeah, fair.
It was a bit of a faff, to be honest,
Yeah.
and not quite culturally used to it. So,
Mm.
but it was cool. Like, it definitely helped. I found the
Wow.
what a dive!
Beautiful finishing dive for Leighton, showing us really what he's made of.
Well, he's given himself a chance there, half a chance potentially. Oh, he's close.
Good effort though.
6.5 seems a bit harsh, don't you think?
I would agree. It's a shame.
Leaves Leighton just over 10 points outside qualification. With only 18 points on his back 3.5 tuck, that's a huge missed opportunity for him, unfortunately. Something he's going to have to work very hard on. We have Nia Jun here finishing with his back 2.5 somersaults, 1.5 twists. He was already comfortably into the final. Going to be ranked in 3rd behind Kirill and Mark going into the final.
We have our final diver of the competition, Samuel. Inward 3.5 somersaults tuck. He'll be wanting to just, show us what he's made of with a slip from the 10-meter board in the earlier rounds, producing a failed dive. He's slowly getting more comfortable as each round progresses since then.
See on the takeoff, he dropped his heels. That forced his hips back too much. Didn't quite get the rotation. Struggling to make the dive. Left it quite short.
Well done to all divers who took part. The 3 hour, started at 12:30. I think so. 3 hour long event. That was very long for the athletes. Congratulations to the top 12. They'll be progressing through to the final.
Confirm there, Carlos with his Q, 447.8 to make it through. Nathan just missing out, Zafar just missing out. Unfortunate for them.
Thank you, Yona, for joining today.
Pleasure.
And we'll see you later for the finals.